But tell us where you're from.
I'm born and raised in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I
Like,
My grandparents come mostly from southern Italy and Calabria, Reggio, Lamezia, and Catanzaro, and one of my one grandma's from Abruzzo. Yeah, so grew up here in Pittsburgh and went to school in Virginia at James Madison. Ended up living there for a couple years after, so I spent altogether 7 years in Virginia, in DC area for a bit as well, and moved back to Pittsburgh at the end of 2022, and I've been here since.
Oh, wow.
well, we love Pittsburgh. We actually went there for a festival.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Oh, which one?
It was an Italian festival, right?
Yes, an Italian festival. Ah, gosh, I don't remember the name.
Do you remember what time of year it was?
It wasn't cold.
It was September.
September.
October.
It might have been San Rocco, but that's usually in August.
No, it's not San Rocco.
We just had Sant Antonio, St. Anthony's yesterday, but that's this time of year. I'm not so sure. I'm still getting my bearings now. I've had like one full year, 20 and 23 now, and trying to get re-involved with the local festivals. So
okay.
Yeah, because you're involved with your Italian community, right?
Yeah. Very involved, actually. Yeah, there's a lot of different local clubs here. The one that I've been in with my family since I was born really is called the Calabria Club and Friends. And it's been around since 92. I recently took over as the president at the end of 23, about, I don't know, 7-8 months ago.
Oh, wow. You're really involved.
Yeah, really involved. And yeah, it started back in 92. My great uncle and grandparents were some of the founding members. And at the time, it was mostly Calabrese and other people who were married in. But since we represent people from all different regions of Italy, and even people without Italian roots who just like the culture. But I think we have people who are from or have roots from maybe 6 or 7 different regions now, maybe even more than that, actually. But our roots still were majorly Calabrese, but we have some Pugliese, Siciliano. We've got somebody from Sardinia.
Oh, wow.
A couple people from Rome, and a couple other different regions up north, and we have a lot of people from Abruzzo as well. There's a lot of Calabrese and Abruzzese here in Pittsburgh. Wow. I would say the majority of Italian Americans, I would say, come from those two regions.
Are they first generation, second generation?
Mostly. We do have some immigrants, even younger people, from their 20s to 40s that have immigrated in more recent years. My mom's both my parents are first generation. So,
oh, wow. Yeah. That's why you're so involved. That makes sense.
Yeah. So I'm second generation. All my grandparents came from Italy. I would say probably there's a lot of people in the same boat as me who are like second generation, but it goes even back further, third, fourth. Our club is a pretty good mix though. We still have a lot of people like my parents and grandparents generations who grew up in Italy, and like I said, like for whatever reason there are some younger immigrants here, new immigrants from Italy. I'm also involved with the local Italian school. It's a Italian immersive pre-K and kindergarten. It's called La Scuola d'Italia.
Oh my gosh, do they speak Italian all the time?
Yeah. They so I was just a student there, and the directors are members of our club, so I'm pretty close with them. I've just taken one class there, but I'm always advocating for them. But yeah, right now their brick and mortar's a pre-K, It's a daycare and kindergarten, and yeah, they teach 100% in Italian, but they offer other languages as well, like Spanish, Japanese, Mandarin, maybe one or two more.
I can't believe they do that.
Yeah, no, it's really exciting. They have plans. They're trying to open an Italian immersive elementary and middle school. So they're trying to purchase a building to be able to make that happen.
Okay. Good. Well, I just wanted to say that my mom hopes that when she goes to heaven, everybody speaks Italian.
Yeah, right. That's a great wish.
She always says that, and I laugh.
I like to think that mine and Giuseppe's generation is making a little comeback too. Like in my case, my parents don't speak too much; they understand a lot. But I know, like in Italian American immigration, it was lost. I think, like a lot in my parents' generation, for
because of the war. Reasons. Because of the war, Italians were looked down. We were on the wrong side.
Right, and yeah, it was part of that. I think there was a lot of discrimination, but there's also like American pride too, and I think that was like, at least in my family's case, I know my grandparents were proud to be Americans and they wanted to speak English in the house.
All right.
Yeah. But I think now, like, you see a lot more people, at least going to the conference where I met Giuseppe in Florida. Like, I think probably I'd be willing to say 70-80% of the people either spoke fluent Italian or like me, who can still hold a good conversation.
Oh, wow. That is amazing.
Yeah. Did you notice that too, Giuseppe?
Yeah. I mean, that whole group was very, very Italian. So
did you know that Giuseppe spent 1 year of high school in Sicily?
He did mention that to me. Yeah. That's amazing. I'm jealous of that.
Yeah, and that's the same town where our olive oil is coming from. So
amazing. And that's where you're from, Vitina?
Yes, correct. He spent a year with my aunt.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's an amazing opportunity.
Yeah. So I don't think he can speak as good Italian anymore. He was speaking very good dialect and Italian back then.
Yeah, more Sicilian, right?
Yeah, I learned Sicilian too. That was unintended consequence.
Yeah.
Fun.
That's
but
cool.
Yeah. So what made you decide to try the olive oil for the first time? I know it was probably me talking to you, right? So
yeah. I mean, I think when I met you back at the conference, you'd mentioned you guys make your own and import olive oil from Sicily. So that intrigued me. And then when we got the chance to reconnect here recently in Jersey last month, I was curious. I asked you some more, so I decided I'd try it. Yeah, I've been using it a lot. I actually just cooked with it tonight. I just made like a pita wrap with some chicken and some vegetables. So I've been using it for marinades, even just on bread, sandwiches, salads. It's really good. Like, you can tell how authentic it is. And for me, I try to support Italian American owned businesses, and I love imported products. So that's what I would say made me give it a try. But I think the product speaks for itself now, having tried it as well.
Yeah.
It smells so good. Like, you can really tell the craft and authenticity that you guys put into your product. So that's why I really like it. And I also love the customer service, and I think you guys are great people.
Yeah. Thank you.
So what was your cooking experience like before you discovered our olive oil? Like, how did other olive oils compare? Could you tell that there was a difference?
I think the first thing that I noticed that was really different, I took the tasting recommendation. I think it came one of your emails, just to take a shot out of the cap. And I never tasted like the peppery aftertaste that it has, which I like. It has like it's hard to explain, but it has like a little kick to it almost.
Yes.
Try.
Yes.
So I think that was one thing like right away that I noticed, but you can tell it just has a like a really rich flavor and adds a little bit of like boldness that there's a lot of good olive oils out there. Definitely, but I think it adds a little bit of boldness to like a dish. Especially like a salad or something, it like where you're not cooking with it, where like it kind of maintains all of its flavors. Because sometimes, like, no matter what olive oil you use, I feel like when you cook it, like whether it's a stovetop or baking, sometimes it just kind of gets muddled in with whatever else you're cooking it with.
Mhm.
Yeah, you lose that strong flavor that it has just raw. And
Yeah,
like it degrades like with heat, right?
right.
But that's the reason for the peppery kick is actually a specific polyphenol called oleocanthal. And I don't know if you knew this, but it's that same substance is the same thing that's found in aspirin. And that's what has like the anti-inflammatory properties, like pain relieving. So our lab test that we did on our oil just recently, and this was like 8 months after harvest, and bringing it across the ocean, show that Papa Vince olive oil actually contains 161 milligrams per kilogram of oleocanthal, and that exceeds the high threshold. So and it's really goes to show like the exceptional shelf stability and like oxidative stability that the oil has. Since we measured this after the fact, after the transportation storage, because polyphenols are heat sensitive, but they're also what preserve the olive oil from degrading. They preserve from oxidation. So how did the peppery kick of Papa Vince compare to the rest of the flavor of the olive oil? So like, were you able to pick up on the other notes?
I like to eat and cook a lot. I would say I don't have the best. I don't know like the science and other notes, but I don't know if like almost a little not fruity because it's not like sweet, but I guess fresh.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
could be like
That's what you're
another
picking
way.
up on it.
Yeah,
It's
it could be like
fruity
a way
undertone.
I could describe it.
Yeah, another word I think is grassy. Like
Okay, yeah, like earthy almost.
yeah, and it's not like the peppery kick is like overpowering the whole flavor, right? Like
Yeah,
because I think that's what you get with a lot of olive oils that are like high polyphenol is like it's just a big peppery kick, and you don't really get the other flavors and undertones.
right.
But
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of flavor going on there. Maybe I'm just not the best at describing it,
yeah.
but I know how it tastes for me. So
So could you describe the first time you used Papa Vince olive oil and how that went?
yeah, let me think back. The other thing is the shipping was really fast. Like I think I got it in like 2 or 3 days.
Oh wow.
Three or four maybe. So I was impressed with that too, especially for an imported product. Let me try and think back to the first thing I made. I think I was just roasting some vegetables. I just put on some broccolini, and I baked it. But yeah, the first taste, like I said, I took it from the cap like a shot. And it was really bold flavor as mentioned, and I thought it really brought out some good flavor and boldness to that broccolini I made.
Oh good.
Yeah.
Exciting.
So how do you plan on using it in the future going forward?
Probably similarly. I definitely want to use it on more salads, and I want to use it like on more just like to top dishes off
Like
too.
a finishing oil, right?
Yeah, like a finishing oil. Yeah, exactly. I think it like works like really well just to put over some bread if you're making a sandwich. maybe toast it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like I made I made a little pita wrap tonight, and I just stir fried like a bunch of vegetables, used olive oil, and then at the end I just drizzled a little bit more on top.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's good.
Yeah, so I think I'll cook with it. Like whether I'm baking something or marinating stuff, roasting vegetables. But I think I'll use it more as like a topping oil.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's the other question I have. I mean, why do you want to use it more as a topping oil? I mean, what do you notice?
Well, I think going back to the point I made of like it keeps all the flavor. Cause yeah, like not I think it's like with any olive oil, like I mentioned, when you cook it, you're not like Giuseppe said, it kind of dilutes it almost. Or cooks some of the flavor out of it. So if you use it as a topping oil, you're getting it for what it is.
Yeah,
That's what I think.
Yeah. I'm just asking because many people, what they do is they finish their food with other spices and, you know, or more salt or, you know, or mustard or whatever. So that's why I'm asking you. I mean, why do you insist in drizzling? I mean, does it do something special to your food when you drizzle more right on top?
Of course, yeah. Yeah, that's what I would say. That kind of maintains its flavor better that way.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you could go back in time, like you had a time machine and you were trying to sell yourself on this olive oil, how would you do it?
Well, I don't want to get too repetitive. Because I feel like I've said a lot of the selling points already, but I think the fact that and I'd have to read more about like the history of would be olive orchard that you guys have there in Sicily. I think it's beautiful that it's been passed down through generations, and now you were born in Alabama, right? Or yeah, right. So now you have what, third, fourth generation, whatever you are in your family, taking over the business from Sicily to Alabama, and it's still running through the family. I love that. And it's still all coming from the motherland, from the island there. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah, yeah. That's our big selling point is it's from our orchards, and we're fifth generation.
Fifth generation, okay. Nice.
So from the old man you see on the bottle.
Yeah, right. So who would that have been to you, Vitina? Your great grandfather, or maybe more?
No. I mean that would be correct, but it's more like a cousin relationship. If that makes sense.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like a cousin great grandfather. That's
gotcha. Yeah. Like a great uncle or something.
That's right.
All right. So I know you probably said pretty much everything, but is there anything else that you'd like to add about your experience with the olive oil? I mean, I know you don't have to because I know you don't probably said a lot, but if there's anything else you could think of.
Well, I said a little bit about the customer service, but I love the emails that come along with the purchase, like checking in on the delivery. I like how I think you provided a little bit of history and even maybe a little bit about like where the olive oil is coming from.
Mm-hmm.
It says it all on the website in the bottle too, but I mean, I think it's nice that you send the email because most people are going to check the email and it's right there in front of them instead of having to go find it somewhere else.
Yeah.
And I like that you respond to them too. So you don't always get that, like have an owner respond to feedback. We
do all that. We want to keep it family. It's a family business. So we just want to keep that Italian welcome you know, how you say, gosh, welcome hospitality.
Yes, yes.
That Italian hospitality.
It's the best. There's nothing like it.
That's right.
Especially Southern Italian hospitality.
Correct. Correct. So that's what, I want my customers to feel like, this is like coming home to Sicily.
Yes. Now, do you guys do, let's say, like, which town in Sicily is it again?
It's a little town called Santa Ninfa.
What is it?
Santa Ninfa. It's
Santa
about like
Ninfa.
an hour away from Palermo, yeah.
Okay, Santa Ninfa. Do you guys do, like, at the orchard there, do you guys have, like, a sitting room or anything? Like a tasting room?
We used to do tours. We need to we're trying to reintroduce them.
Yeah, we're trying to reintroduce them.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, COVID, cool. COVID kind of.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It kind of mess a little bit, our tour thing,
Right. That would be cool. If I'm ever in Sicily, I'll have to see if I can swing by.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's on my list next time I go to Italy, which I don't know when that will be, but
yeah. So you've just been once, right?
2 times.
Oh, 2 times. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Where did you go?
So the first time I was 9 years old. I went with my family. We went for about 6 weeks, only in Calabria.
6 weeks. That's a nice trip.
Yeah, it was really nice. It was a couple weeks after we won the World Cup. So everyone was still partying in the streets.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was an amazing trip. That time, at that time, our family still had a house in Catanzaro in a little town in the mountains called Pentone. So probably like 4 of the 6 weeks we just stayed there. We did a day trip to Messina in Sicily. We saw some family down in Reggio, and we went over to Lamezia for a little bit too. But more recently, I went by myself for like a month in 2022. And I went all over the country, from north to south, to east to west. Yeah, I think I went to like maybe 6 or 7 different regions in that trip. Only spent a little bit of time in Calabria, actually, like a week, but I got to see the whole country. So I knocked a lot of tourist destinations off the list, and I got to go to a lot of really small towns that you've never heard of too, which was cool. Those are always the best ones.
Did you get to go to Sicily?
I didn't make it to Sicily. No.
You missed out. You gotta at least go to Messina, right across.
That's right.
Yeah, it's really easy to get to, especially where my family is in Reggio. They have the ferry over there.
Yeah, they have the best sweets.
Yeah, Messina, is that what they're known for?
Yeah, that's what they're known for, the desserts.
Okay. Yeah, I think the next trip, like depending on how long I can go, I need to go to Abruzzo because my one nana's from there and I've never been. I want to spend more time in Calabria, and then Sicily is the next on my list.
Yeah, you gotta get the Cafe Granita in Sicily.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Messina is famous for Cafe Granita with cream.
Do they have that in Calabria?
Yeah.
They do? Okay.
But yeah, they put like a cream. I'm not sure if they do that in Calabria, but the cream is just amazing.
Yeah, I don't recall the cream.
Yeah, that's what really is like their claim to fame, is that it's like one family can do that, and it's like they got the recipe on lockdown, so it's probably just a Messina thing.
Nice.
That's right. You know, like Italians, they lock down all the recipes.
Beer. If you ever had the beer Messina?
Yeah, I've had that beer.
Really good in the summer.
Yeah. Well, all right. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to do this.
Yeah, and it was really nice meeting you, Salvatore.
Yeah, it was nice to meet you too, Vitina.
So let's